In this video, we'll talk about how to use the pen tool, which is sometimes a frustrating tool to use in Illustrator, but one once you get a hold of or an understanding of, it's super useful. So we're going to first access the pen tool, which is the third button down on your left-hand toolbar. Hold down to click and then choose your pen tool. If you're a shortcut person, the shortcut is P. So here I have my no fill, which is what I want. I have a stroke and a color that I can see on top of my picture, and I'm drawing on a blank layer or a white layer. I'm not drawing on my original photo. So with the pen tool, you can gain great control in creating kind of custom arcs. So I couldn't just use the pen tool to do all of this at once. I kind of want to break the shape down into arcs. So for example, I could go from here down to here. So I'm going to drop an anchor point, and how to do that, I click and let go, and then I'm going to come down and then find the point where I want my line segment to end, and I'm going to click and hold. So again, first click and let go, second time click and hold, and then if I start moving my mouse slowly, I realize that I have a handle on one of these handles, or I have a hold on one of these handles. So I'm going to pull this until I get an arc that goes along the contour outline of my image, and then I'm going to let go. A good shortcut to know is deselect in Illustrator, which is Shift Control A. So I'm doing all that with my left hand on the left hand side of the keyboard. Then I'm just going to keep going, and I'm going to continue to make arcs. I want to be creating closed shapes so that our live paint feature that we're going to use later is going to work. I'm going to find my anchor point that I just made. Illustrator does a good job of that. I'm going to click once, and then I'm going to click and hold, and then through manipulating my handles, I'm going to let go. That looks good. I'm going to go Shift Control A to deselect and click again. Pull, deselect, click, let go, click and hold, pull my anchor point, pull my handles that come out to the right and left of my anchor point, deselect, click, this one. Let's say you create a line segment with your pen tool, but it's not quite right. You can always do what you did in the last tutorial. You can click and hold here and then go add anchor point, or use the plus key. I can add an anchor point here. If I want to drag it down, I can add an anchor point here. Just points where you want to manipulate that line, and then I can go and use my direct selection tool, my white selection tool, which allows me to manipulate one single part of any given path. So I'm going to click and drag here, and then I can use these anchor points, or these handles rather, to further manipulate the direction of my line. A lot of times it helps to zoom in. Oops. Can go back and forth between adding anchor points and using my direct selection tool to really get a hold, accuracy on my path. So it says anchor. I'm going to pull that out a little bit. Maybe I want to bring that lower edge down, so I'm going to use my handle. I'm going to zoom out, see what I have. It's looking pretty good. I'm just going to close this up using the pen tool. Click, let go, click, hold. I'm going to create that closed shape. And you can check to see if you're creating closed shapes by zooming out, finding your layers panel by hitting F7. That'll reappear, and then unclicking the visibility on your first layer. So it looks here that all my shapes are closed. There are no points of openness, so that my live paint technique will work in here.